إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. So inshallah, today's lesson, we're going to finish off lesson 10. And we are doing a different format for today's lesson due to some technological difficulties. But inshallah, starting next lesson is going to go back to the same format we've been having the lessons at. So we left off on exercise 1 of lesson 10. We read the story, and now we're on exercise 1. Exercise 1 has 22 questions. And so it says, Ajib anil as'ilatil atiyah. So answer the following questions. Okay, so question 1. Question 1. It says, Masmuka. What's your name? You would say, Ismi Fahad, or Ismi Mu'eed, or Ismi, whatever your name is. Question 2. It says, Min aina anta. Where are you from? And you would just say, Ana min wherever you're from. Ana min Pakistan. Ana min America. Ana min Indonesia, etc. Question 3 says, Ma lughatuka. What is your language? You would say, Lughati al-Urdiyatu, or Lughati al-Inglesiyatu. Okay, Lughati. You say Lughati. Question 4. It says, Aina abuka. Where is your father? Aina abuka. Where is your father? And you just say, Abi fil bayt, or Abi fil masjid, wherever your dad is. You say, Abi fil bayt. For example. Okay, number 5. It says, Aina ummuka. Where is your mother? Aina ummuka. You can say, Ummi fil matbakh, or Ummi fil hamam. Okay, number 6. Allaka akhun. Allaka akhun. What that means is, do you have a brother? Allaka akhun. And you can say, Na'am. Li akhun wahidun. Na'am. Li akhun wahidun. Yes, I have one brother. Alrighty, the next one, it says, Allaka ukhtun. Allaka ukhtun. And you can say, Na'am. Li ukhtun wahidatun. Or you can say, La. Okay, the next one, it says, Indaka sayaratun. Indaka sayaratun. Do you have a car? And you say, Na'am. Indi sayaratun. Na'am. Indi sayaratun. Or if you don't have a car, you can say, La. Ma indi sayaratun. Ma indi sayaratun. Ma indi sayaratun. Ma indi sayaratun. Number 9, it says, عندك دراجة. عندك دراجة. And you would say, نعم, or you would agree or disagree. نعم عندي دراجة. Or لا ما عندي دراجة. The next one. عندك قلم. عندك قلم. عندك قلم. Do you have a pen? And you say, نعم عندي قلم. طبعا. طبعا, of course. أنا طالب. I'm a student. I have a pen, of course. I'm a student. Okay, number 11, it says, عندك دفتر. عندك دفتر. Do you have a notebook? You say, نعم عندي دفتر. عندي دفتر. Of course, yes, I have a notebook. Okay, number 12. Number 12, it says, Abuka tajirun. Abuka tajirun. Is your father a businessman? And whatever he is, you could agree or disagree. Na'am, Abi tajirun kabirun. Na'am, Abi tajirun kabirun. في باكستان في أمريكا في سعودية, wherever he is. Okay, number 13, it says, Min Aina Muhammad. Okay, so now we're back to the story of lesson 10. Min Aina Muhammad. Min Aina Muhammad. And Muhammad says, Ana min al Hind. So if I go up here, Muhammad says, right here, Ana min al Hind. Ana min al Hind. Ana min al Hind. So what that means is that I am from India. He says, I'm from India. Therefore, the question asks, Min Aina Muhammad? Min Aina Muhammad? And so you want to say, Huwa min al-Hind. Huwa min al-Hind. Huwa min al-Hind. Ma lughatuhu. Ma lughatuhu. Ma lughatuhu. So what is his language? And Muhammad says, up here, let's check it. Muhammad says, Lughati al-Urdiyatu. Lughati al-Urdiyatu. My language is Urdu. My language is Urdu. Okay, now the next one, it says, Aina abuhu. Aina abuhu. Muhammad says, let me see, Aina abuhu. Right here. Muhammad says, Abi fil Kuwaiti. Huwa tabibun shahirun. Okay, so he says, my father is in Kuwait. He is a famous doctor. So in order to answer the question, Aina abuhu, you can say, Abuhu fil Kuwait. Abuhu fil Kuwait. Now 16, it says, Aina ummuhu. Aina ummuhu. In the story, Muhammad is saying, right here, because Hamid asks him, Wa aina ummuka? Where is your mother? And Muhammad says, Hiya aydan fil Kuwait ma'a abi. She's also in Kuwait with my father. So to answer the question, Aina ummuhu, you say ummuhu fil Kuwait. Right? Ma'a abuhu. His mother is in Kuwait with his father. Okay. The next question, it says, Min aina Hamza? Min aina Hamza? Min aina Hamza? So where's Hamza from? Muhammad says, La huwa min al-Yaban. So in order to answer the question, where's Hamza from? We say, Huwa min al-Yaban. He is from Japan. Ma lughatuhu? For the next question. And we know that he speaks Japanese. We know that he speaks Japanese. So we would say, Lughatuhu al-Yabaniyatu. Lughatuhu al-Yabaniyatu. His language is Japanese. Okay, the next question is asking, Aina abuhu? Aina abuhu? And in the story, it says, Abuhu fil Yaban. Abuhu fil Yaban. It says right here, Abuhu fil Yaban. Huwa tajirun kabirun. So his father is in Japan, and he's a big merchant there. The next question says, Aina Zainab? Aina Zainabu? Aina Zainabu? Question 20. Now in the story, if we go up, it says right here, it says وَلِي أُخْتٌ وَاحِدَةٌ اسمها زينب وهي في العراق وهي في العراق مع زوجها. So we can say هي في العراق مع زوجها to answer the question. أين زوجها is question 21, and it was just there in that sentence we read. أين زوجها, her where is her spouse? Her spouse is also in Iraq. You can say زوجها في العراق أيضا. Her spouse is also in Iraq. 22 it says أزوجها مدرس أزوجها مدرس. Now looking at the sentence, it says زوجها مهندس. So you would say لا زوجها مهندس. So we've completed exercise 1. Now let's go down to exercise 2. And what this is saying basically is that you want to fill in the blanks with the appropriate damir. With the appropriate damir. So you want to use who if it's a male. You want to use ha if it's a female. And this is referring to, male or something that's an object. Okay. So for example, it says هذه البنت طالبة اسم something Zainab. So we wouldn't say ismuhu because it's referring to a bint, a daughter. And it's referring to a female student. And it's referring to a woman, right? Zainab. So what we'd put is ha, ismuha, ismuha. Okay, the next one. Muhammad tabibun wabnuhu muhandisun. Because what? It's talking about his son. Muhammad is a doctor and his son is an engineer. So هذا الرجل. So next one, it says هذا الرجل تاجر كبير اسمه Abdullah, because it's referring to a man. The next one says آمنة في الغرفة وأمها في المطبخ. Because why? Ha? We're talking about her mother. Her mother. We're talking about Amina and her mother. Okay, عائشة طبيبة وأختها ممرضة وأختها ممرضة. Alrighty, the last one says خرج محمد من الفصل وخرج معه زميله. Muhammad, he exited from the class and his colleague exited with him. And so that is that exercise completed. Going on to the next exercise, it's basically asking us to make questions and answers similar to the example. It's saying 5. So for example, it's asking you to do this. عندك قلم؟ نعم عندي قلم. So you got to ask similar questions. So you can say, عندك دراجة؟ عندك دراجة? And then you would say نعم عندي دراجة. Or you can say عندك كتاب. You can say نعم عندي كتاب. عندك سيارة. You say نعم عندي سيارة. You can ask عندك مكتب؟ نعم عندي مكتب. عندك كرسي؟ نعم عندي كرسي, etc. The next exercise is asking you to do the same thing, but instead of saying yes, I do have it, you want to say no, I don't have it. And here This ma we talked about last time, it's called harful nafi, the particle of negation. The particle of negation. And so we use it to negate something. So for example, it's saying here, عندك قلم. We say لا ما عندي قلم. No, I don't have a pen. Make some questions like this. We can say عندك دراجة. We say لا ما عندي دراجة. ما عندي دراجة. Okay, and if you want to make some more questions, you can say عندك سيارة. لا ما عندي سيارة. عندك بيت. لا ما عندي بيت. And etc. etc. All right, this next part it says تأمل ما يلي. Ponder over the following. Yeah. And it says بيت. بيت. So here, these are talking about the ضمير متصل. Yeah. ضمير متصل. The attached pronouns. The attached pronouns. So for example, beiti, that means my house. Beituka, that means your house when you're talking to a male. If you say beituki, beituki, that's for a female. Beituki, your house when talking to a female. Beituhu means his house. Beituhu means his house. And beituha means her house. Okay, in the next exercise, we basically have to construct similar sentences like the example. So it says قلم. هذا قلمي. هذا قلمك. هذا قلمه. And هذا قلمها. All right, so the first one, it says kitabun. So we would say هذا كتابي, right? كتابي. هذا كتابك, right? كتابك. هذا كتابه. كتابه. And then كتابها. كتابها. Same thing with the next. سرير. So we would say سريري. سريرك. سريره. سريرها. And the next one says ismun. So we say ismi. And then we say ismuka. And then we say ismuhu. And then we say ismuha. So if I ask you, masmuhu, what's his name? Is it ismuhu? And then whatever his name is. Ismuhu Hamza. Ismuhu Zaid, etc. Okay, next one says mindilun. So we say mindili, right? Mindili. And then we say mindiluka, mindiluhu, and then mindiluha. The next one says ibnun. And so again, ibni, ibnuka, ibnuhu, ibnuha. Sayaratun. Sayarati, sayaratuka, sayaratuhu, and sayaratuha. So here you can say sayaratuka nadifatun, sayaratuka wasikhatun, sayaratuka kabiratun. Okay, so miftahun. So that's miftahi, my key. مفتاحك, مفتاحه, and then مفتاحها. And the last one, yadun, which means hand. So you can say yadi, yaduka, yaduhu, yaduha. Okay, so that exercise is completed. The next exercise is iqra. Iqra, read, right? And so we went over this last lesson at the ending that li means I have. Laka means you have. Lahu means he has. And laha means she has. So I have, you have, he has, and she has. So now we're going to read the examples. So li, so the example not one, it says li ukhtun wahidatun. I have one sister. Number two, alaka akhun? La, ma li akhun. Do you have a brother? No, I don't have a brother. Number three, أختي لها طفل صغير. So طفل, that's a new word. طفل, it means child. Child. So look here. طفل means child. And then if you say طفلة, that's a female child. So it says أختي لها طفل صغير. So my sister, she has a small child. And the child is referring to a boy. Or like the masculine. Number four, زميلي له أخ وأخت. It says my colleague, he has a brother and a sister. Okay, the next page on the top, it's saying نقول عندي كتاب ونقول لي أخ لا نقول عندي أخ. And so what it's basically saying is that عندي, we use it with objects. We don't use it with people. Look here. We don't use it with people. All right? We use عندي with objects only. The next exercise, it says ma'a, which means with. So it says خرج حامد ma'a خالد. So Hamid, he exited with Khalid. And ma'a acts like a preposition. It acts like a harf jar. And so what that means is the next noun, it makes into a kasra, or kasratain. The next noun, it makes majroor. It makes majroor. Kasra or kasratain. ذهب الطبيب مع المهندس. So the doctor, he went with the engineer. Number three, جلس المدرس مع المدير. The teacher, he sat with the head teacher or the principal. Number four, من معك يا علي? Who is with you, يا علي? معي زميلي. معي زميلي. It means with me is my colleague, or my colleague is with me. Number five, it says آمنة معها زوجها. آمنة معها زوجها. Amina, with her, is her spouse. Okay. And then number six, it says خرج أبي من البيت. So my father, he exited from the house. من خرج معه? Who exited with him? خرج معه عمي. خرج معه عمي. My paternal uncle exited with him. Paternal uncle, remember, ammi comes from ammun, which means paternal uncle. Okay, the next set right here, it's just telling us about the Asma'ul Khamsa, the five nouns that I mentioned last lesson. So there's five nouns, okay? One of them is Abun, then Akhun, then it's Hamun, then it's Famun, yeah? And then it's Dhu. Abun, Akhun, Hamun, Famun, and Dhu. These are the five nouns. It's saying Beitun, Beituka, Beituhu, Beituha, Beiti. Now with the five nouns, whenever you're doing this, you're attaching a pronoun to them. They get a wow, except for the ya, except for when the ya attaches. So for example, abun, abuka. Look, a wow was added. Abuhu, abuha, abi. Okay, so there is some differences with the asma'ul khamsa, the five nouns. Akhun, akhuka, akhuhu, akhuha, akhi. And we're going to learn more about these later on in Madinah Book 2 and 3. So if we read the examples, Abi wa ummi fil bayt. My father and my mother are in the house. Number 2, Ain abuka ya Hamid? Dhahaba ila suq. So where is your father, O Hamid? He went to the market. A'akhuka tabibun? Is your brother a doctor? La, huwa mudarrisun. No, he is a teacher. Now this one says, Zainabu fil Riyadh. Fil Riyadh. And Riyadh is a new word. It actually means the city in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. Zainabu fil Riyadh. Akhuha fit Ta'if. Akhuha fit Ta'if. And this is Ta'if, the other city in Saudi Arabia, where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to give da'wah. Her brother is in Ta'if, wa abuha fil Madinah al-Munawwarati, and her father is in Medina. Or the next one, number 5, it says هذا الطالب أبوه وزير وأخوه تاجر كبير. It says this student, his father is the prime minister, and his brother is a big merchant. The 6th example is ذهب أخي إلى المدرسة وذهب أبي إلى الجامعة. So it says my brother, he went to school, the school, and my father, he went to the university. We're seeing here that it has many different names. Okay, many different names. And these names is just showing us that they are masculine names, and sometimes masculine names have a ta marbuta at the end. For example, Muhammadun, Khalidun, Hamidun, Abbasun, Mahmudun. These do not have the ta marbuta at the end. Now, other names, Hamzatu, Talhatu, Usamatu, Muawiyatu, Ikrimatu. These have the ta marbuta at the end, even though they are male names. So sometimes, I know we learned that rule in, I think, lesson 4, that usually things with the ta marbuta are female, but there are always some exceptions. Okay, the last one is Iqra, right? And put the correct vowelizations at the end. So we say Khalidun, right? Khalidun. Hamzatu, Ammarun, Anasun, Muawiyatu, Hamidun, Usamatu, Ikrimatu, Abbasun, Muhammadun, Talhatu. See that? So now the new words, Al-Kalimat al-Jadida. Az-Zamilu, that means colleague. Colleague. Az-Zawj, that means spouse. Or you could say husband. Wahidun means one. Fata means young man. Ma'a means with. Tifl means child. Kuwait means Kuwait. And lughat means language. And so with that, we have finished lesson 10. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.